ball game as they'll face the veteran left-hander Tommy John, just about 3 days past his 46th birthday. Leading off, it'll be Brian Downing, the designated hitter for the Angels. Batting second, it'll be Dick Schofield at shortstop. The number 3 hitter will be Johnny Ray at second base. The cleanup man, Devon White, in center field. Batting fifth and catching will be Lance Parrish. The number 6 hitter will be Chili Davis in left field. Batting seventh in right field with the left-hander on the mound, Dante Bichette. Batting eighth and playing at first base. At first base, Bill Schroeder. And the number 9 hitter playing at third base with the left-hander on the mound, it'll be Glenn Hoffman. Downing, Schofield, Ray, White, Parrish, and Davis, Bichette, Schroeder, and Hoffman facing the veteran Tommy John with a record of 2-7 and a 17-21 career mark against the California Angels. He is 0-1 against them here in '89. Defensively, behind TJ, they have Henderson out in left field. In center field, Roberto Kelly. In right field, it is Jesse Barfield. Mike Pagliarulo plays at third. Espinosa's your shortstop. Steve Sachs at second. First base is Don Mattingly. The catcher is Don Slaught. And Tommy John with a record of 2-7, an earned run average of 5.55, 58 1/3 innings of work. He's given up 40 runs, 36 of which have been earned. And I would have to say, in all generosity, I think this is a pivotal ball game for him tonight, Joey.
Well, one of his wins, Bob, came on opening day, so it's really been a dry spell for him.
I notice a little bit of the difference in style. I think TJ is displaying a little superstition here. He has gotten away from the general stirrup sock that he ordinarily wears, where he shows a lot of black with a high stirrup. Now it's a much higher stirrup. As the old saying goes, any port in a storm. First pitch, a ball. Brian Downing, last night's game, 1 for 4. Scored a run. Takes a strike, and it's 1-1.
A lot of similarities, Tommy John and Dotson. They don't like to throw strikes. They like to nibble, and Tommy John obviously doesn't have the velocity, so he has to pick corners.
That is a base hit to right. Downing took him the other way, a pitch down and away, as you just pointed out, Joey, where TJ likes to work. And he just went with the pitch and has a leadoff single.
Number 22.
Well, you don't see Brian Downing hit the ball the opposite field very often, but that's the approach you have to take against Tommy John. And instead of that's the sinker ball was starting to go away from Downing, and he gets it by Mattingly.
He's now reached base safely in 37 out of 42 ball games.
See, against certain pitchers, that's why you have to think hitting. Against certain pitchers, you have to have a game plan when you go to hit. You just can't look for ball and swing against Tommy John. You'll forever hit a ground ball to shortstop.
And Downing with a lifetime mark against TJ that is good, over 400. Here's Schofield. He was 0 for 4 last night, but scored a run. He's batting .260, takes a strike. Schofield, career-wise against Tommy John, hasn't had probably that many at-bats. He's 6 for 20, batting .300 against him. Trying to go to right.
And you see the approach. You're going to have to hit Tommy John the other way. I remember facing Tommy John in the early days when he was a White Sox pitcher, and even in those days when you tried to pull him, it was a ground ball to shortstop if you were a right-hand hitter.
A no ball, 2-strike count on Dick Schofield. Downing with the lead at first. They hold against him there, and TJ chases him back.
But you really have to give Tommy credit. Whatever happens from here on out, he has gotten older and worked harder as he has gotten older.
The thing is, here's a guy, 45 years old at the time, went to spring training without any guarantee that he was going to make this ball club, and went down to Fort Lauderdale. Not only did he make the club, he was their opening day pitcher, and went in facing an attitude of "we don't want you," and really made himself necessary. You have to applaud him for that. He turned 46 on Monday.
Well, it's just the way you approach things. Tommy John, instead of going in tentatively, he went in with the "I'll show you" spirit, and that's why he's been a winner his whole life, and that's why he's still pitching right now.
2-2 count. Downing, not a base-stealing threat. TJ keeps an eye on him.
He's not a base-stealing threat, and he's not a pick-off threat.
The outfield straight away for Schofield. Dick hit a couple of balls pretty hard last night. Almost jacked one out of here. Just didn't quite get it. He flares another foul off to the right side. The weather conditions very good here tonight. The temperature got up to near the 80 mark in the New York City area. It was very comfortable. Ball club leaves tonight after the game. They'll take a 45-50-minute flight up to Boston. Doug Rader takes his Chargers into Fenway Park for the first time this season. Angels open the action tonight a half game behind in the American League West. Pretty well hit toward left center field. Henderson on his horse. He's going to track it down. No, it's off the wall. Here comes Downing over to third. He had to hold up at second. They'll have to hold him at third. It'll be a double for Schofield. They weren't sure that Henderson wouldn't catch up with that thing. But at the very last moment, he knew it was over his head. It one-hopped the wall right around 399, which is an awfully big part of this field.
Well, the thing about Downing, with nobody out, you're at second base. When you have outfielders like Henderson and Roberto Kelly, you cannot assume that they're not going to catch the ball. Schofield hits this ball very hard. And you can see Henderson going back, and right about here he just lets up like it was going out of the park, but he realized he couldn't catch up with it. And then Downing had to hold up at third base.
That brings up Johnny Ray. Ray was 3 for 5 last night, drove in 4 runs. He scored twice. He's been a terror since getting back in the lineup. Hits one hard to left field. This will be caught, but it'll get a run home. And coming over to third is Schofield. He is safe there. And the Angels lead 1-0. A sacrifice fly for Johnny Ray.
That is knowledge of who your outfielder is. Excellent base running by Dick Schofield, trying to get to third base with 1 out. As you see Downing getting congratulated. Knowing Ricky Henderson does not possess a strong throwing arm, Schofield took advantage of the situation.
Here comes Devon White. There's 1 out, a runner at third. The infield will come in. The Angels, just as a note of interest here, are 23-6. 23-6 in games they score first. And they're 6-9 when the opponent scores first. They have scored first tonight.
Claudel holding a little court here, and then Rader getting a kick at him.
Claudel can hold court. He's not in the lineup tonight.
He does it during when he is playing. He's a very good addition to this ball club.
Devon White hits it high to right field. Barfield with a great throwing arm. Schofield can run a little. Here comes the throw. Here comes Schofield. Safe. Slot tried to take it very quick and make a tag, a sweeping tag, and I don't think he was going to be out even if Slot fields it cleanly, Joe.
Well, it would have been a close play. The only chance Slot has is to block the plate and just take a beating. Barfield getting an excellent position to throw, and if the throw is up the third baseline, you might have seen a pretty good collision, and you could see the proper way to go after it. Get the running start and then the throw, and if this throw is up the third baseline, you might have seen a collision, and I believe Schofield could have been out. Schofield right now has to find a white spot there and slide at it, and he does that. I'm not even sure he touched the plate because there's Slot's leg.
So it is 2-0. 2 out now, and Lance Parrish up there. Slow breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Parrish 2 for 2 last night with a home run that drove in a pair, and he scored a couple of runs.
I didn't ask him, but he had to feel like he was in a street fight after last night's ball game. Catching 4 pitchers, a 4-hour ball game.
Curveball in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out. We're in the top of the first. Happy you come along with us for Angels baseball on the second game of this road trip to the east. 3 coming up in Boston and 3 more in Milwaukee before they come back home. The 1-1 pitch. Hit hard, but taken by Mattingly. He'll make the play. Nope, he'll give it to Tommy John covering. So some balls hit hard, but 2 runs out of all of that on a couple of hits, and no one is left as we go to the bottom of the first. 2-0 Angels. The Yankees coming to bat. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's ball game for the New York Yankees as they face the right-hander Mike Witt. Leading off, it will be Ricky Henderson in left field. Batting second at second base, Steve Sax. Batting third at first base, Don Mattingly. The cleanup man will be their designated hitter, Ken Phelps. Batting fifth in right field, Jesse Barfield. Batting sixth and catching, Don Slott. Batting seventh, playing at third base, Mike Pagliarulo. Batting eighth at shortstop, Alvaro Espinoza. And batting ninth in center field, it'll be Roberto Kelly. Henderson, Sax, and Mattingly, Phelps, Barfield, Slott, Paliarulo, Espinosa, and Kelly facing Mike Witt with a record of 3-4 coming into this ball game, an earned run average of 4.05. His lifetime mark against the Yankees is 7-5, and he has beaten them one time here in 1989. He's been staked to a 2-0 lead, Joey.
And there's that camera that's located on the roof right over home plate.
Right.
Remote. Nobody has to stand up there, folks.
Mike Witt getting staked to a 2-0 lead. Around the infield defensively. In the outfield is Chili Davis in left. Center field is Devon White. In right field is Dante Bichette. At third, Glenn Hoffman starts with the left-hander pitching for the Yankees in place of Howell. At short, Schofield. At second, Johnny Ray. And Bill Schroeder starts over at first base with the left-hander out there. Wally Joyner gets a night off, or at least a few innings off. All of the people not in there obviously available for pinch hitting duty and insertion into the lineup at perhaps a more propitious time.
Well, for us people who really didn't do well in English, you're talking about he's going to play some defense later if they get a lead, right?
I suppose, yeah. Lance Parrish does the catching. That is tough, though. You were joking about it, a 3:55 game last night, but that is tough to sit back there with 4 pitchers and 4 hours of work. And the amount of, I would think the amount of mental strain, Joey, is probably more than the physical strain.
Well, it is, especially when you're trying to get into a rhythm of some kind. And Abbott, he feels Abbott threw too many fastballs. Jim Abbott felt he threw too many fastballs last night, and that was his problem. He wasn't pleased with his outing. Of course, he's happy he won. And Parrish, being the leader of a young left-hander, has to be the one to try to choreograph how Jim Abbott pitches. And I guess it was frustrating for him last night.
Here's Ricky Henderson to lead it off. He had a hit last night. He was 1 for 4 with a run scored. He started every game for the Yankees in left field. Batting .262, 3 home runs, 18 runs driven in, and Mike Witt ready to work.
And again, the same situation. Mike Witt has a 2-run lead. His job is to close the Yankees down right here and make that 2-run lead hold up into the second inning.
Little high, ball 2. It is my recollection that Henderson has been a difficult target for Witt to pitch to. The lifetime batting average against Witt of .296 off the glove of Schofield to the backhand side. Now it's maybe for 2. Nope, Schofield gets it back in. It'll be a base hit.
And I'm sure if you ask Dick Schofield right now, he says, I should have made that play. Ball was hit very hard, a 2-0 pitch.
Number 6.
And Henderson with a good swing. And now watch Schofield. He says, wait a minute, I better go chase that thing. He didn't chase it at first.
Devon White with 19 stolen bases. Henderson with 19 stolen bases. They're both in the lineup tonight. It's a 3-way tie. Cecil Espy is the other in the American League for tops in stolen bases. Steve Sachs flares one foul. He was 2 for 4 last night. Scored a couple of runs. He's batting .303 with a home run and 15 runs driven in. Wearing the number 6 on his back. It was sported at one time by one of the best fielding third basemen you'll ever see.
I wore number 9.
This is not number 9 turned upside down.
Oh, I see. Cleat Boyer.
That was Cletus's number. He could pick it. Man, he could pick it. And the throw gets away on the pickoff. Schroeder couldn't handle it, and Henderson's going to probably wind up at third. Nope, he's going to hold out at second base.
I tell you, in more ways than one, the expression speed kills. Just because you're aware of Ricky Henderson, and of course you have an inexperienced first baseman. And that's what happens there. With the glove on the other hand, a Wally Joyner would have made that play. But it's still going to be an error on Mike Witt. But because of Henderson's speed, you're so much aware of him that you're trying to keep him close, and causes you to make mistakes.
You got to watch him now, too, leading off at second. Nobody out. Sachs will be trying to take it the other way. No, he shows bunt. Takes a fastball low for a ball. Evens it up at 1-1.
That's a little surprising unless Sachs is going to bunt for a base hit. Because Sachs can hit the ball the other way. A little conversation with Johnny Ray.
Rickey Henderson out at second base. A leadoff single. Throwing error on the pickoff try by Witt has him at second. Now Witt has some more work to do. Missed inside.
And almost a no-no. Schofield breaking in behind Henderson, and Witt pitches, and you're leaving that whole shortstop hole open. Right here. Trying to get the daylight play. He breaks in. Witt pitches, and boy, you're vulnerable there.
2-1 on Steve Sachs. Mattingly waits on deck.
That's what you have to do. Step off or make the play at second base. Schofield saying to Johnny Ray, get his attention again. Hold another conversation. Maybe we can get him picked off.
The Angels won it big last night, as it turned out. They didn't win it big until the 9th inning when they scored 5 times to make it 11-4 as a final, but it was very much in doubt going into that particular inning. It was a 6-4 lead, and they had never really been comfortable, even when they had a 5-1 lead last night. It just wasn't comfortable for them, but they won it.
Now, the game did not have a good flow last night.
No kidding. The pickoff try, and Henderson back. 2-1 on Sachs. Nobody out. 2-0 Angel lead, bottom of the first inning.
If Witt turns a little quicker, he might get Henderson right there. But Henderson's measured. He knows how far he can get off. As long as he keeps his eye on the man with the ball, then he should be able to get back.
Jim McKean is the plate umpire. He's the crew chief of this outfit. Now time was called. I notice on the scoreboard they have Sachs with a 308 average, and looking on their stat sheet, it's tough to read anyway. So I'm going to change and say it's 308.
It looks like 303.
So we'll give Stephen the benefit of the doubt, batting 308 with a home run and 15 RBIs. Witt with the 2-1 count. First inning jam, leading 2-0. Toward third, but that's foul.
And really, Witt cannot be bothered by Henderson. He had his chance to get Henderson when he was at the plate, and if it's going to disrupt the way he pitches, he cannot let it disrupt his ball game because he has a 2-run lead right here.
Witt coming in has struck out 28. He's walked 10. But he has, for the number of innings pitched, 66 2/3, he's been touched for the long ball quite often. He's given up 9 home runs. You see Henderson's lead. He'll get him over to third with that. So Sachs does his job after the throwing error. He got Henderson down to second. 4-3 on the put-out. 1 out, runner at third. That'll bring up Mattingly. We'll quickly tell you, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the California Angels and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the California Angels is prohibited. Don Mattingly, 4 for 5 last night, but drove in only 1 run with all of that, and that was his first home run of the year. His average up to 269. He was quoted in the paper as saying that he would, in essence, rather have had those 4 hits drive in more runs. Witt misses with a fastball.
I saw him when he was in Anaheim. I said, I'm just coming over to say hello. I don't want to do an interview with you. I said, you're not hitting well enough to do an interview with. So he told the guys, because he was on with Kemmer and Al, Joe Torre told me I wasn't hitting well enough to do an interview with, so I had to do something about that.
1 ball count. Outside, ball 2. A 2-0 count on Mattingly. Toward center field, should be caught by White, but it's going to score a run. So the throwing error by Witt costs himself a run as Mattingly drives in the runner from third with a sacrifice fly to center. 2-1, Angels.
It's interesting. Every run that has been plated here in the first inning has been a sacrifice fly.
Right. With 2 out, that'll bring up the big DH, Ken Phelps. I want to mention we got a note here from a fellow named Ted Nyman. He's an avid Angel fan. He's from Newport Beach and wanted us to say hello to his family and friends and Linda back in Newport Beach.
You can see the 8 out of 10 left-handers are low ball hitters, and you see by that 2-0 swing that Mattingly was very comfortable going after it. And he's got a little smile on his face for the first time in a while.
Well, his hits, though they were fun for the Yankees to see last night, were not productive, and that's what bothered him, Joey, last night, that he, the home run obviously was productive, but the rest of them didn't do much for his side, and he was concerned with that. There's a strike into Phelps.
I think that's what got him in trouble early on, trying to do more than he was capable of doing. You can't hit a 3-run home run with nobody on base. And he feels the responsibility. He's making a lot of money. Last year he guaranteed a pennant to this town, and he means well, and I'll tell you, he works hard. And he just takes on a lot of responsibility.
Witt leading 2-1. 2 out now. And it was Mike's own miscue that set up the run-scoring situation. 2-1 pitch to Phelps. Strike on the outside corner. 2-2.
For Witt to be successful, he'll be a 60-40% fastball to curveball. Finds himself getting in trouble when he throws a few too many, maybe 70, 30.
That is line foul off the left side. Phelps, in his career, has hit 8 home runs off Witt. He has a .264 overall batting average, but he has driven in quite a few runs too. Of course, this covers the Yankees and Seattle. 2-2 the count. And in the last 27 ball games, Phelps has swung the bat pretty well. Full count. In the last 27 games when it started for him, he was batting .083, and then he finally got on track a little bit. There's your on-deck man, Jesse Barfield. Breaking ball fouled away. We're in the bottom of the first. Henderson started it with a single. He reached second when Witt tried to pick him off and threw badly at first. He got to third when Sachs bounced out to Johnny Ray, and he came home on the sacrifice fly by Mattingly. Him out. Good pitch, and Phelps is down on strikes, and the Yankees are out, but they got a run to get back in it on a hit. There was an error. No one is left after an inning. 2-1 Angels.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen.
A lot of good things happening this summer around Anaheim Stadium. Be capped off principally, of course, by the All-Star game. Ground ball to third, and Palirulo with it. And Chili Davis, 1 pitch, 1 out.
How right you are. A lot of good things are happening around Anaheim Stadium, and mainly the ball club that's been on the field.
They have made it fun to come to the ballpark.
Right field.
Dante Bichette struggling a little bit after a hot start. Then he was pressed into that everyday thing, Joey, on the last trip east when they went to, what, Detroit and Toronto and Baltimore, and kind of got the best of him.
Well, this will be a test for Bichette, because if you're ever going to discipline yourself, it has to be against the Tommy John. And the front shoulder, and we've talked about it so many times with different hitters, has to stay tucked in there.
Flared foul upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. To give you an idea, he had 9 hits in his first 23 at-bats this season, but only 9 hits in the last 64 at-bats, which is certainly nothing uncommon to a young hitter suddenly thrust in there. He's batting .207 right now.
Well, the only difference is, Bob, if you're a veteran hitter, you can accept it and not panic. But when you're a young hitter, you tend to panic a little bit, and you're trying to make adjustments, and all of a sudden you forget what you did when you were successful.
Reaching and rolls it out in front of the plate. Don Slaught with it. Throws in time to get Bichette. That's what you were talking about, the pitch away from him, out off the plate. And he tried to reach out and pull it. Taps out 2-3.
Well, Tommy John is so tantalizing.
First base.
And just take a look at the front shoulder of Bichette. We don't have it quite yet, but the front shoulder flies out, and the only thing he has left is just to throw the head of the bat at the ball with nothing behind it.
So brings up Bill Schroeder. Had a grand slam last Sunday. Playing at first base tonight, and Wally Joyner. That grand slam the other day was his 2nd career grand slam. Hits one well toward left field. Back goes Henderson. Won't get it. It's gone. See you later. A home run for Bill Schroeder.
He hits real good as a first baseman, doesn't he?
That is his 4th home run of the year, RBI number 7. And for a fellow who is not in there every day, Joey, and is the backup catcher and your position first baseman, Dallas Green, he can't afford any more gray hairs, but he sprouted one.
Well, Tommy John cannot pitch above the belt.
For TJ, the 5th home run he has given up. Here's Glenn Hoffman. High chop over the mound. Espinosa comes on. Gets it in time to throw out Hoffman. Side retired, but the Angels get a run on the 2-out homer by Schroeder. 1 hit and no one is left. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. It's now 3-1 Angels.
Some people think that you...
Jesse Barfield, 1 for 3 in last night's game. His marks are these. Overall in the season, he's 185. 7 home runs, 15 runs driven in. With the Yankees, 160, couple of homers and 4 runs driven in. He has a career mark against Mike Witt of 230. But he's had pretty good power against him. 11 home runs and 34 runs driven in off him. 0-2. Tough to hit that kind of pitch anyway.
Mike Witt gets the breaking ball there. He's going to be awfully tough to beat.
0-2 on Barfield. On deck, Don Slaught, to be followed by Mike Pagliarulo. Ken Kaiser, the first base umpire, says he did not go around. The more than ample Ken Kaiser. It's nice that he's a fairly good-natured fellow. Whoa. He is a burly chap, former professional wrestler, but as I say, fairly good-natured. 1-2 on Barfield. Two balls, 2 strikes.
And if we get a shot of it again on Kaiser when he said no swing, he had a number 2 on his left sleeve. That's in memory of Nick Bremigan, who passed away this spring.
Full count now, 3-2. Hit to right. Witt got ahead of him and then lets him get away. Leadoff single by Barfield, taking it the other way. So the second starts for Mike about the way the first did, giving up a leadoff single after being staked to a 2-run lead.
Third base.
Well, Mike Witt almost had Barfield going for the 0-2 pitch, and then finally got in a situation where he didn't want to walk him, and he ran it to 3-2 and gave him the fastball to hit.
Mike Pagliarulo will be up third. This is Don Slaught. No, they flip-flopped him. This is Pagliarulo.
Sure have.
They flip-flopped him.
Maybe the flip-flopped him or they're batting out of turn.
They did, because Slaught is on deck, and they'd given us the order. And I think everybody has the same lineup.
Yeah.
Barfield, Slaught, and on the official one we were given.
Well, not the official one in
No,
the
the
dugout.
one-
That's the one that counts, the one in the umpire's pocket right now.
So we will mark it down as such.
And if you're going to call them for hitting out of turn, you wait until the guy who's hitting out of turn does something good. Otherwise, you just let it fly.
Nobody out. Runner at first. Barfield being held by Schroeder. 1-1 count here on Pagliarulo. Toward left, glaring foul up out of play. I wonder if anybody in the Angel dugout has been suddenly looking up on the dugout wall at the lineup card. Pagliarulo batting .186 on the year with a home run and 6 RBIs. One and two. A 3-1 lead for the Angels.
And that's the way that works. If a man hits out of turn, as you see the check swing, if a man hits out of turn, in order, and if he gets a base hit, once the next man comes up, he's hitting out of turn. And you call it before the first pitch is thrown.
2-2 on Pagliarulo. Well, we were given no notice that there had been a change in their batting order. And the official, or not the official, but the one they give out to all the media, lists Barfield, then Slaught, and Pagliarulo.
Well, the scoreboard just changed. They have Pagliarulo's picture up there now with his numbers.
Toward right field, should be caught by Bichette. It is. Fires back into first, but Barfield hustles back in there. 1 out.
Number 11, Don Slaught. Catcher, number 11.
Brings up Slaught, who's catching tonight. His average at .256 with a home run and 16 runs driven in. Barfield standing over at first. Toward right field again for Bichette. He's there, misjudged it. Barfield will have to hold at third. It'll be a misjudged double for Slaught.
And it looked like Bichette had the ball in his back pocket, and all of a sudden it either took off on him or he really misjudged it to begin with. Right here you see him backtracking. He says, uh-oh, no chance. And the only reason a run did not score, if it's 2 out, a run scores. But Barfield had to hold up because he thought Bichette was going to make the play. And you see Slaught all of a sudden with the second life takes off to second base.
So at second and third, nobody out. Bichette should have caught the ball, but he did not. He misjudged it. And the batter is Alvaro Espinosa, the shortstop.
Now if you feel he's hitting out of turn, you call it before this pitch.
Nobody's made a move.
Because you have to follow the man you're supposed to follow. And then if the original lineup says that it is Slaught Pagliarulo, the next hitter has to be Pagliarulo after you call it, because he's supposed to follow Slaught.
Second and third, 1 out. Witt And another jam, rolled foul, although he should be pitching with a runner at first and 2 out. 0-2 here on Espinosa. 246 on the year without a home run and 9 runs driven in. Good stop by Parrish. 1-2.
Well, good weight shift and not try to catch the ball. That's the key. Just knock it down.
And the ball hit to Bichette. It seemed like he made a very casual beginning to go after it, and then suddenly realized it was hit better than he thought. But it was too late then.
Instead of coming down, it took off on him. That's
right.
What happened.
1-2. On the ground, but foul. Witt has struck out 1. He's been touched for 3 hits. Leads 3-1. We're in the bottom of the 2nd.
Angels are percentage points in first place as of right now.
Milwaukee beat Oakland 4-1. Just missed. 2-2.
Mike Witt wanted that one. And he didn't think it was a strike, but he wanted that corner.
Barfield over at third. Out at second is Don Slaught. Out of play. So Espinosa tough.
And a rather heavy gentleman made that catch barehanded. The little boy with the glove right next to him couldn't make the play. He didn't have room to make the play.
2-2 on Espinosa. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning, a 3-1 ball game with the Angels on top. And Witt for the 2nd consecutive inning trying to pitch out of some trouble. Punched him out. Ken Kaiser punches him out. Espinosa punched out by the first base umpire. 2 out now, and that'll bring up Roberto Kelly.
And we'll take a look. The head of the bat gets out in front of the hands. To me, that's a swing. That's a swing. He could not hold it back.
2 out. Runners hold at 2nd and 3rd. Kelly, tough out. The center fielder, number 9 hitter, batting .303. Toward right, slicing down to the right side, and a foul ball.
The thing you have to be concerned about if you're Doug Rader and Marcel Latchman is Witt. Not necessarily the number of pitches he has thrown in the first 2 innings, but he has thrown them under duress. He has been in trouble, so he's had to pitch very tough. You can see the little foul territory down there. There's very narrow line going down between the foul line and the wall.
1 strike count on Kelly. Couple home runs for him. He's hit 1 against the Angels. He's driven in 14. As I said, he's been a tough out for them. Missed with the fastball. In the last 9 games, Kelly has been especially tough. 13 for 33 and a .394 average. One and 1. Strike. Curveball in. 1-2. It is tough if you're a right-handed batter to hit Witt's good hook.
It's a National League strike right here. That's a breaking ball, finishes up under the knees, but it's when it goes over the plate and where it is over the plate that counts, and that was a very good pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at second and third. Kelly waits. Again, the curveball misses. 2-2.
This is as far as you want to go with this hitter. You want to get him out right here.
The inning started with Barfield's single. Pagliarulo flied out to right. Slaught then doubled over the head of Bichette in right. Espinosa struck out. And it's 2-2 on Roberto Kelly. Toward right, Bichette with another tough play. This time handles it. So the side is retired and nothing comes of the mistake earlier. No runs. Couple of hits, 1 tainted, 2 men are left. Yankees strand their first 2 after 2. 3-1 Angels. Over but low for a ball. Brian Downing, 5 home runs in Yankee Stadium, most by an Angel player against one club on the road since Fregosi hit 5 against the Red Sox in Fenway Park back in 1965.
Is that 1 year or lifetime? That must be 1 year.
1 year. Toward third, Pagliarulo made a good stab on it. It stayed down on him, and he fires across in time to get Brian Downing.
That's the play that you'll yell out of the dugout. Look in your other hand, you'll find a watch. Because Pagliarulo did not go after that properly. He comes up, and then the ball stays down and catches it in the web. And you deem yourself fortunate when you do that.
Dick Schofield. 7 hits in his last 18 at-bats. He had a double and scored the other Angel run, or the second Angel run as it was, in the top of the first.
That's where Tommy John has to pitch. He has to pitch at or below the knee. He gets it up, his ball straightens out when the ball comes up.
1-0 delivery, strike, 1-1. You as a hitter have to make him throw strikes.
And you have to think back through the middle and the opposite direction. So you don't come over the top of that sinker ball, which makes you hit the ground ball to shortstop usually, or it tops it to third base.
2-1 on Schofield. 1 out, nobody on. Angels lead 3-1, top of the third. Two and 2. Dick hit a ball last night that one-hopped the wall out and left, almost jumped out of here. The first time up tonight, he hit one even to a deeper part of left center and one-hopped the wall over Henderson's head. 2-2 pitch. Took a little off it and caught Schofield out in front and strikes him out. And Dick is angry at himself. So it'll be Johnny Ray up there batting with 2 out and nobody on.
The second baseman, Johnny Ray.
Schofield knows he doesn't throw hard to begin with, but Tommy takes something off it and Schofield's head flies right there. And mad at himself, as you said.
Johnny Ray drove in a run the first time up there with a sacrifice fly to center, giving him 23 RBIs on the year. There's a strike. 1-1.
You don't swing at that pitch until you have to.
Too low.
Johnny Ray, very patient hitter.
John has hit safely in 19 out of 24 ball games with 12 RBIs and is now 13 RBIs in his last 11 games as he takes a strike and is 2-2.
You have to like the balance on the Angel for the Angel offense with 22 RBIs for Johnny Ray.
A base hit for him, hooks that breaking pitch to left and has himself a 2-out single.
Devon White with 29 RBIs. Parrish 19, Chili Davis 21.
The center fielder,
good balance through the middle.
Devon White.
And one of your ace RBI guys not playing tonight, right? with Claudel being out of there. He has 17. Joyner has 17, so you have two pretty good RBI people that aren't in the lineup tonight. Devon White takes a strike. Devon with 55 hits, and almost half of them, not quite, but 23 out of the 55 have been for extra bases.
And the other ones he makes extra bases.
He runs them into extra bases. He drove in a run first time up with a sacrifice fly, and it is going to be ruled a foul ball, or is he out? Did he run into it?
I think if they ask Kaiser, he's going to call him out. I think if they ask Kaiser, he's going to call him out. Mattingly saying, ask some help. Ask for some help.
Starting to rain, folks. While they're arguing, it's now starting to rain. Folks are heading for cover. What a nice evening it was for a while.
Should have played a day game, right?
Get it over with, right. The weather has been threatening around her, but it was very nice prior to game time, and obviously at the beginning of things.
He's out. He's out. He ran right into it in front of the plate. There's the weather.
0-2 count on Devon White with Ray at first. Ground ball toward third. Paliarulo will play it across the diamond to get Speedy White. The inning is over. 5-3 on the putout to get Devon White. No runs, a base hit, and the Angels leave a man the first. They've stranded as we go to the bottom of the third. The rain pelting down rather firmly. It is 3-1 Angels. Some of the people who had left have come back into their positions, but it's falling lightly.
They had predicted rain for either late tonight or tomorrow.
Here's Ricky Henderson to lead it off against Witt, their leadoff man. Singled his first time up there to lead things off in the bottom of the first and wound up scoring their run. A little high with a fastball, ball one.
And what Mike Witt needs here is an easy inning. He's had two tough innings in a row.
Ball two. Henderson still, although not as pronounced a crouch as he used to bat from when he was with Oakland, still is a tough target up there. Well hit toward the biggest part of the ballpark. Back toward the track is Devon White with room and makes the catch for out number one. Henderson out. That'll bring up Steve Sax.
Steve Sax.
Sax, as was said, 2 for 4 last night. He has started every game for the Yankees at second base since coming over here.
He has 15 multi-hit games already this year.
He's hit safely in 11 out of 12.
Make it 16. He had one last night, too.
Bounced out to second first time up. Takes a strike from Witt. One away, nobody on. Witt pitched with runners on base in the first, again in the second. Toward third, that's a fair ball inside the bag. And Sax is going to wind up at second base with it. A fan apparently touched it down the left field line. He did. Not only touched it, but he grabbed it.
And he's going to have to give it back. If he interfered with the ball in play.
So it's a ground rule double.
Well, if you're Glenn Hoffman at third base, you're darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. If you're playing deep, Sax will bunt on you. If you're playing shallow, he hits the ball by you, and that's what he does right here on this fastball in off the plate. Pulls those hands in, gets on top of that fastball.
So now Mattingly represents the tying run for the Yankees. He drove in a run with a sacrifice fly first time up, takes high for ball one.
And again, if Witt continues to get in trouble every inning, it's really going to take its toll on him.
Light rain still falling. One out, runner at second. 3-1 Angels. So the pace of the game has slowed. 1 ball count on Mattingly. Witt misses, ball 2.
That ball got away from him. And you can see the rain still falling. Got to overuse the rosin bag here.
2 balls, no strikes on Mattingly. Sachs out at second. On deck is Ken Phelps. Hit high in the air to medium center field. Sachs now goes back to tag as Devon White comes under it. Sachs bluffs. Here comes the throw on the fly to third. 2 out.
The designated hitter, Ken Phelps.
Phelps struck out first time up there. There's Sachs out at second. The umpiring crew with McKean behind the plate. Ken Kaiser's at first, Vic Voltaggio at second, and Darrell Cousins, who worked the plate last night, handles third. Outfield straightaway for Phelps. Strong, designated hitter. Too high with the fastball, ball 1. Each side with 4 hits here in the early going. We're in the bottom of the third with the Angels leading 3-1. One and one. That caught the catcher and the umpire.
Earlier in the season, Parrish did not have that extra piece at the bottom of the mast. He had taken a foul ball in the neck. In the next inning, he had one. That got Parrish on the mask on the left side.
You caught a whole career without anything hanging down there, didn't you?
I got a few in the Adam's apple, too.
1-1 pitch. Is that what it was? That's what caused it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at second. A ball and 2 strikes on Phelps. 2 out. Two and 2.
Bob Buell was pitching for the Braves. I was catching. He threw a changeup and it hit the plate and come up and hit me in the
under the chin.
Well, in the throat, and it bruised my vocal cord, and I could not talk. So I had to tell the infielders, cut it off on your own. You're not going to be able to hear me.
I bet the clubhouse wasn't totally unhappy with that circumstance, though. Full count, 3-2 on Phelps. Barfield waiting on deck.
That's where Marlon Brando came up with the idea.
Sure it was. You gave him the idea with the tissues back in the jaw, too, didn't you?
Right, and the cotton in his ears.
Three-two pitch. Just missed with a breaking ball. And Witt issues his first base on balls tonight. And the tying runs are on base now as Phelps walks, and it'll be Barfield up there, who reached him for a single in the second. What was left on base? The Yankees have stranded 2. Angels 1. Last night, both sides left a lot of base runners. Yankees left 11. Angels left 12. Strike into Barfield. He got ahead of Barfield the first time up there, got ahead 0-2. And finally went to 3-2 before Barfield reached him for a single to right. You have Sachs out at second, just in the bottom of your picture there, walking back, tag. And Phelps over at first base, and Parrish will make a visit to Witt. Barfield is very happy to be here, playing in New York in the pinstripes. But the person that's really happy about him being here is his son. His son always wanted him to play for the Yankees anyway. So he was thrilled to death when his dad got traded over here. 1-1 pitch, a little snug, 2-1. Two out, runners at first and second.
Mike Witt has not solved the mystery tonight. Does not have his release point.
Out of play. Count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes. It'll be upstairs. Well, he is in another one of those positions, much like Abbott was last night, Joey, and that he doesn't have his best stuff, perhaps, or his best control, and he's going to have to hunt and peck and be able to win without it.
Well, that fastball is on the outside part of the plate. Parrish wanted the fastball inside, but Witt wanted it away, which has to make you believe he's not real confident with his stuff yet. He's going to get this one inside, though.
And it is gone. That's out of here. And the Yankees lead it. He came inside with it, and Barfield takes him deep. A 3-run shot that makes it a 4-3 Yankee lead. And the 10th home run that Witt has given up. And the damage is done with 2 out.
Witt did not want to go inside on the pitch before, but he said okay to Lance Parrish for the next pitch. And the result was this. Did not get it in quite far enough. You make a mistake inside to a big guy, he's really going to hurt you.
Pagliarulo up there.
But the man that hurt him that inning was Phelps, walking Phelps. And you take a look again at the home run, and there's a no-doubter as soon as Barfield hits the ball, you can see it.
One ball, 1 strike on Mike Pagliarulo. 4-3, Yankees lead now. And career-wise for Barfield, that's the 12th home run he has hit against Angel pitching in his career. And 37 RBIs in his career. 2-1. Base is empty. Two balls, 2 strikes. Rain not very heavy, if any at all. It's hard to pick out, just a light sprinkle, I think. Not much at all right now. Toward left, pretty well hit, back toward the corner. This may have enough too. See you later, opposite field for Pagliarulo. Back-to-back home runs by the Yankees. And they lead 5-3. And that is now 11 home runs given up by Mike Witt, the second of the year for Pagliarulo. makes it a 5-3 ball game. Go ahead, Joey.
Mattingly started it last night. Barfield started it tonight. And Pagliarulo just chipped in.
Angel bullpen is going to scamper into business out there.
A little unusual for Pagliarulo to hit the ball the other way, but he hits this one. He gets all of it.
Marcel Latchman has made a trip out to the mound to settle the lanky right-hander, who now has had a 2-run lead, get away from him, and now finds himself behind by 2 runs.
And Willie Frazier up in the bullpen.
Back-to-back home runs by the Yankees. 4 runs in the inning. They lead 5-3, and the batter is Don Slaught. Curveball misses, ball 1.
Mike Witt just does not have it tonight as far as his location. He's trying to overthrow the breaking ball. He's let a lot of pitches get away from him tonight.
Misses high, ball 2. He gave up a 1-out double inside the bag at third to Sachs. Mattingly flied out to center, 2 outs. Then he walked Phelps, and as Joe said, that hurt as much as anything. It gave Barfield a chance to bat. The rest is history. And there's a hard hit ball by Slaught, and he adds himself another hit.
That could very well be it if Frazier is ready.
All of this damage has come with 2 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Alvaro Espinoza, the shortstop, making his way to the plate. He is the 8th man to bat in this inning.
The rule of thumb for starting pitchers, you let them give up 5 runs before you really consider making a move. Mike Witt has been down the middle with most of the pitches tonight.
There's another base hit. Espinoza takes him back up the middle. Slaught with a wide turn at second, but scampers back in. And Roberto Kelly becomes the 9th man to bat here in this inning, and we keep an eye on the dugout.
Well, Rader wants to know if Frazier's ready. Hurry up and get him ready. He might send the 3rd baseman out to talk to him. Schofield's out there right now trying to kill some time.
It all happened in a big hurry, didn't it, Joseph?
Well, you sort of smelled it, though. It was the 1st inning, Witt had a tough inning. The 2nd inning, he had a tough inning. And then the 3rd inning, and that's going to be it, as you see Latchman. It just takes a lot out of your starting pitcher when you have to pitch under stress all the time. And Mike Witt, not a very good outing tonight.
So that is going to do it for Mike Witt. Willie Frazier will come into the ball game, and as he does so, we will go away for a moment, but we'll be back to Yankee Stadium. Join us. The new Angel pitcher is Willie Frazier. Willie comes on for the 10th time, a record of 1-2, 3.50 earned run average, 18 innings of work. And he takes over for Mike Witt, who works 2 2/3, charged with 5 runs. He's responsible for the men on base at 1st and 2nd. 8 hits, struck out a man and walked 1, and the man that he walked scored. Did he walk 2?
No, he struck out 2.
Struck out 2, beg your pardon.
Well, Willie Frazier get a chance to show off tonight. He left 21 tickets tonight.
He's from up the road a piece, Newburgh, New York. So it's just a stone's throw for family and friends to come in.
Only if you have a good arm. It's a stone's throw.
Newburgh is up toward West Point, up in that neighborhood. Up the Hudson. So he faces the 9th man to bat for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 3rd.
You want to see what Mike Witt, who would really struggle. He had a tough 1st inning, tough 2nd inning, and then he just couldn't get out of his own way after he got 2 out here in the 3rd inning.
There's a strike to Kelly. 1 ball, 1 strike. Walk, home run, single, single. That's the last 5 hitters. We have Slaught out at second base, Espinosa on at first. 4 runs are in, and the Yankees lead it 5-3. Could get him out of the inning. Schofield boots it, has it, throws, got it. By a hair, but got it. 4 runs scored on 5 hits in the inning. They leave 2, they've stranded 4, and after 3, the Yankees gain the lead 5-3. Lance Parrish will lead it off against Tommy John, who now jumps from being 2 runs down to being 2 runs ahead.
And now you know that the interested observer, Dallas Green, is just going to see and keep a close eye on Tommy John.
Comes in with a record of 2-7, his lifetime mark, pitching around the American League with intermittent stops or stop elsewhere with the Dodgers, but 17-21 against the Angels. Parrish rolls it wide at third. Good play by Pagliarulo. Throws and got him. What a play by the Yankee third baseman.
Hey, nothing like a home run to give you a little more energy. And Mike Pagliarulo made a highlight film with this play. Leaves his feet and then gets up and gets Parrish easy.
1 away. That'll bring up Chili Davis. So far they had reached Tommy John for 4 hits. Chili Davis bounds one out to Espinosa at short, who quickly flips across in time to get Chili Davis for out number 2 here in the top of the 4th.
What the Angels have to guard against now, they're down 5-3. They have to maintain their patience with Tommy John. You cannot go for Tommy John's pitch. You have to make him throw strikes. Otherwise, he'll stay out of the strike zone all day.
Dante Bichette, 0 for 1 tonight, tapped one out right out in front of home plate. His first time up. Slaught threw him out. Takes ball 1. That's a ball outside. 2-0. Well, you can become over anxious with him. The anxiety sets in, and you want to try to get them all back at one time.
Exactly, especially the way the Angels have been playing. Says, come on, we'll get them back. We'll get them back, and you tend to be a little over-anxious, and Tommy John's not the pitcher to get over-anxious with.
Bichette takes a strike on 3-0. 3-1 on the Angel right fielder, batting with 2 out and the bases empty. Top of the 4th, Yankees lead 5-3, getting 4 in their half of the 3rd. Full count.
Watch this pitch now. He'll throw him a sinker away.
Down and away, sliced away to the right side. Toward right field, again, a pitch away. Should be handled by Barfield. It is, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 go the Angels. First time tonight that Tommy John has gotten them 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 4th here at Yankee Stadium with the Yankees on top. 5-3. Rickey Henderson, who led off the bottom of the 3rd and got things started. Not really, he flied out. But everybody else got something started when they scored 4 times to take the lead. Willie Frazier works to him. Did he go around?
If he asked,
yes.
He did.
Strike. I know you like the rather understated way that the first base umpire made that call. Toward right, slicing foul, out of play. You don't like that big call at first base by the umpire on a strike, do you?
No, I think they they show up to play her. I don't mind the big out at first if they call a guy out or out stealing or something like that, but I don't think there's any reason to call it on a check swing.
1-1 count. Little roller back for Frazier. Tough man to get. Guns it over in time to get the speedy Ricky Henderson. 1-3 on the putout. 1 out. Steve Sachs is really the fellow that got it started for them in the third when he doubled inside the bag at third and came on to score their second run. He is 1 for 2. Off the hands out to Johnny Ray. The second baseman flips over in time to get Sachs. 2 out.
The first baseman.
2 up, 2 out. In the bottom of the fourth, that'll bring up Don Mattingly.
There's the Big Apple, folks.
That's it. Your town.
That's right.
They
my
love
town.
you in this town.
I like it 4 or 5 days at a time. The
They love you in
Empire
this
State
town.
Building right there.
Go down the street. People yelling, "Hey, Joey! Hey, Joey!" Welcome you back.
How about the kid that stopped me last night?
Yes. He had heard you on the radio. Oh, he'd heard you on the Talking
stuff,
Baseball
the Talking Baseball
card, yeah.
Since I told all my friends about it, they went and bought one too. I said, terrific.
2-0 on Don Mattingly. Willie Frazier in relief of Mike Witt. Hard hit ball hooking down the right side, and it is a home run just inside the foul pole. A line shot off Mattingly, and for the second consecutive night, he has hit a round tripper. That was a line drive just over the fence and just fair.
Well, somebody's going to have to pay for the slump that Mattingly was in earlier this year, and it just looks to me like he's starting to heat up.
And again, trouble with 2 out for the Angels. They're down 6-3 now. All 4 runs in the third that put them on top came with 2 out, and here a 2-out homer by Mattingly.
And the hits come in bunches, and so do the home runs, and here is a perfect swing. Good extension, line drive, just curls right inside the foul pole over the 314 mark.
Here's Ken Phelps, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Goes after the high Frazier fastball and doesn't get it for strike 1. 6 runs on 9 hits now for the Yankees. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Angels and 1 error.
And the one thing that the Angels have been able to stay away from these last couple of weeks have been giving up the home run.
Strike 2. So they're down by 3. Phelps in the hole, 0-2. 2 out, bases empty. The Angels coming in here tonight trying to win their 30th game of the season. Two and 2 on Ken Phelps. After 44 games a year ago, they were 17-27. They're going to have to battle back if they're going to win number 30 here tonight. Now it's a full count on Ken Phelps. They didn't win their 30th game of the season last year until June the 24th. 3-2 pitch. Foul right back below us. Full count on Ken Phelps, batting with 2 out and the bases empty in the Yankee fourth. Stays alive.
Just over the last 2 games before tonight, Angel pitchers have given up 29 hits, but only 1 home run.
Tonight, the Yankees have hit 3. Ranger couldn't get one by him. That one goes right into the home television booth over there where Phil Rizzuto is working.
And future Hall of Famer Tom Seaver.
It's not often you get a foul ball back up into these recesses. It's their cameraman.
They're all personalities here in New York.
That's right. Hit high in the air to right field. Dante Bichette back at the wall and makes the catch. Phelps with a bid for a round tripper, falls short. But they get 1 run on Mattingly's home run. A hit, no one is left after 4. 6-3 Yankees.
There it is, the Chrysler Building on your left and the Empire State Building. King Kong's hangout on the right.
Literally. Bill Schroeder will lead it off here against Tommy John. He touched him for a home run in the second. That was for the Angels' 3rd run. And now the Angels are down by 3, and the thing that comes to mind is the chance of catching up in a big hurry on him. Pretty slim, because if he gets in a jam, he's going to come out of there.
Oh, he'll come out. Dallas Green wants to win. He needs to win. And Tommy John right now, as you said, you have to consider him on the bubble at this point. He's pitching for his job at this point in time.
Schroeder takes him to the right side, but slices it foul. Had enough distance to get it out of here, but it sliced foul. Schroeder playing at first base tonight. Angels have hit a home run now in 11 straight games. One ball, 1 strike. On deck, Glenn Hoffman, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. Going to right again. Back goes Barfield. This is pretty well struck. It's gone. See you later. Schroeder with his 2nd home run of the night. He took it the other way, and Schroeder has 2 home runs tonight. Shortens the lead for the Yankees up to 2 runs. And for Bill, his 5th home run overall. And 8 RBIs.
I did not think that ball was going out of the park. But Schroeder thinking right field, you can tell by the foul balls he was hitting. Right. That's the proper approach to Tommy John. You're not going to try to pull him if you're a right-hand hitter.
Hoffman goes to the right side, but Mattingly will play this one unassisted for out number 1.
Schroeder can really hit as a first baseman, can he?
He really can. He has 8 RBIs, Joey, and 5 of them he's driven himself in.
And I'll tell you, Tommy John cannot pitch up there. He threw a breaking ball and it stayed upstairs, and Schroeder gets enough of it. Nice catch. Oh, you didn't catch it. That was ice cream in his mouth.
Here's Brian Downing. He's had a hit tonight, scored a run, and bounced out. He's 1 for 2. 6-4. Yankees lead by 2 now. Downing takes a strike. A budding blues guitarist. 1 ball, 1 strike. Six-4.
That's what it was last night for a long time.
Right. Reversed last night, and as you so well put it, from a manager's standpoint, you sit there and the innings just don't drop off the scoreboard. They're just there, and it seems like it's going to take forever before you reach a comfort zone. Hard hit to center field. There's Kelly. Downing hit it right on the nose, but right at Roberto Kelly out in center field for out number 2, and that'll bring up Dick Schofield.
You know, Dallas Green is thinking now, you know, get me to the 8th inning. That's for Getty. He used Guterman last night, and Angels touched him up, broke that string at, what was it, 30 and 2/3?
30 and 2/3 before he finally gave up a run.
And another run, and another run, and then he gave up 5.
Right. As it turned out, it started with Chili Davis's home run. And then somebody yanked the rug from under him. 1 ball count on Schofield. Dick had a double first time up. Last time he struck out. Takes a strike, and it's 1-1. One and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Full count, 3 and 2.
There's that 2 on the sleeve of Ken Kaiser. That's in memory of umpire Nick Bremigan.
Ground ball back up the middle. Espinosa gets it and throws, and they got it. What a play by the Yankee shortstop. That's the kind of thing that Schofield can do, and Espinosa does it. But a run on the home run by Schroeder. No one is left. We go to the bottom of the 5th at Yankee Stadium. 6-4, New York. Jesse is 2 for 2 tonight, including a 3-run homer that came in the 3rd.
He's peaking at the 200 mark now at 197.
Yep. Takes a breaking ball from Willie Frazier for strike 2. It'll be Barfield, Paliarulo, and Slot.
It's going to get tougher and tougher to raise the average when June rolls around.
One and 2.
Marcel Latchman very pleased the way Frazier's been throwing the ball. He's been struggling a little bit with his split finger pitch, but he thinks he has it where he wants that release point.
That got him. Barfield strikes out. That looked like the split finger pitch right there.
I think that was the slider. He had real good rotation on it, and it stayed away.
Look at it, like it had some drop to it, Joey.
Yeah, right there. Good pitch.
Mike Paliarulo, who had a home run in that 3rd right after Barfield had hit his, ready to stand in against Frazier. Paliarulo 1 for 2. One out, nobody on. Bottom of the 5th, 6-4 Yankees. Strike 2. Last year, Paliarulo hit .262 against Angel pitching. And the thing about it, well, we were talking about the other night in Anaheim, his power stats against them. He hasn't been up that long, and he's already hit 17 home runs, 18 now with the one tonight. It's not like he's been playing for 10 years.
Well, it seemed every time we did a ball game, he hit a home run.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Struck him out.
There's the splitter.
Frazier strikes out the first 2 he sees here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
The proverbial bottom drops out of this baby. That deserves a tag, too.
The batter, Don Slaught, who's 2 for 2 tonight with a double and a single. Since Willie came on, he has given up the home run to Mattingly, and that's the only hit he's given up. He has struck out 2. He has gotten 3 ground balls and 1 fly ball. Out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Slaught.
Hey, he has a good rhythm going for him tonight. He's popping that ball. It's never an embarrassment to give up a home run to Don Mattingly, especially the streak he's heading into now. Be interested to watch the box score next few days.
In about a week from now, he's going to be hitting about 300. He started the night at 269. He's up above 270 now. Toward third, Glenn Hoffman with it. Can he make a throw? Nope. It'll be a base hit for Slaught. He's 3 for 3. Infield hit. Tried to make a throw from his knees, just couldn't get enough on it.
And I wonder if Slaught's going to want that extra BP tomorrow. He said to Frank Howard, "You got me tomorrow?" Right here, pulls it down the line. And Hoffman does a good job of getting to it, but then loses his footing and tries to throw from the knee, and not much on the ball. And Frank Howard says, "Just remind me after the game so I can write it down." Yes, sir. Okay.
The batter is Alvaro Espinosa. He's 1 for 2. 2-out infield hit by Slaught. They hold against him over there, though he wouldn't be much of a threat to run. Strike by Willie Frazier. Good fastball. "6-4, the Yankees lead. Out of play. 0-2. Angels started it off leading 2-0, then 2-1, 3-1, before the Yankees came up with 4 big ones in the bottom of the 3rd inning to take the lead. And they got another in the 4th. The Angels came back and got 1 of those runs back with Schroeder's opposite field home run, his 2nd of the night. 0-2 pitch here. Struck him out. So he strikes out the side, sandwiched around a base hit. Willie with a strong inning. No runs, 1 hit, man left, 5 stranded by New York. After 5, the Yankees lead by 2, 6-4. Tommy John back to the mound. Top of the 6th inning. Yankees lead 6-4. Johnny Ray will lead it off. Devon White will follow, and then Lance Parrish. We were talking earlier about the Angels' record when they had scored first being 23-6, and what it was when they didn't score first. When the opponents scored first, they were 6-9. They're also 21-2 when they score 4 or more runs. Well, they have scored 4 tonight, though they trail by 2 right now.
And Dale Mahorsic is up in the bullpen for the Yankees.
Johnny Ray.
So you have to think that Dallas Green is saying, "Get me to the 7th. I'll come with Mahorsic. And if I need help after that, it's Righetti. It's ragtime, as they say, here in New York."
Johnny Ray 1 for 1 with a sacrifice fly, and rolls it inside the bag at third, but fielded by Pagliarulo, and got it. What a play. That's 2 outstanding plays by the Yankee third baseman. That prevented extra bases for sure.
Oh, it's interesting. Usually a player has a strong side. Pagliarulo went to his left on 1 play, and now he goes back to his right with a similar play. Ball was by him. He gets up and makes the play, a perfect throw to Mattingly to retire Johnny Ray. And he's going to be a highlight film all by himself with the home run in these 2 plays.
Here's Devon White, 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly.
And as far as I know, Ken Kaiser's the only one that calls people out with his left hand. Think about it. But he can do anything he wants. I mean, as big as he is.
He is left-handed. One ball, 1 strike on Devon White at 3:09. Base hit. Breaking pitch, waited for it, got in, and he slammed it to left. A 1-out single and a chance maybe to do some running.
And don't expect Devon White just to stay put over there. As Dallas Green's coming out, the way he's walking out there, I'd have to say that's it for Tommy John with Parrish coming up. Yep.
That's it. So it's a one-out single that does end Tommy John. So he leaves with the lead. And Dale Mahorsik will come in for the Yankees. Tommy John gets a nice hand. We'll go away for the moment, and we'll be back to Yankee Stadium. Stay with us.
Dale Mahorsik.
Dallas Green has made his decision. He's gone to Dale Mahorsik. Mahorsik comes on for the 14th time. Record of 0-1. He has 2 saves to his credit, 25 innings of work. And most recently has prevented 8 of 13 inherited runners from scoring. He is a veteran pitcher, but he's not a veteran big league pitcher. He spent 9 or 10 years in the minor leagues before he ever got up. Devon White, a threat to run. They keep an eye on him. Lance Parrish up there 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls. Mahorsik has been touched for a couple of home runs.
Here's Tommy John's reaction after he gave up the base hit and he sees Dallas Green come out. Ooh, the Grim Reaper is showing up.
It's a 6-4 ball game. Yankees lead by 2. 6 runs on 10 hits for the New Yorkers, 4 runs on 6 hits for the Angels, trying to battle back into this thing, having lost the lead. Sidearm pitch misses low and inside for a ball. Mahorsik, if I'm not mistaken, first made it up a few years back with Texas. It was back in '86. And he had signed in '78, Joey, and he had been at places like Victoria, Dunedin, Salem, Portland, Buffalo, Hawaii, Lynn, Nashua, Oklahoma City, before he finally got to the Texas Rangers. A throw through and safe at second on the stolen base by Devon White.
Good throw by Slot, but White's speed is the one that beat that throw. A quick tag by Sachs, thought he'd get away with it. But umpire Vic Voltaggio was having none of that.
That is number 20 for Devon White.
And Slot gets rid of this ball very well, very quickly. And Devon White with the slide hits the bag just as Sachs tags him high. Take another look. Watch Sachs where he tags White. The foot hits the bag and oh, it's close. From that angle, it looked close.
That is ball 4 to Lance Parrish. Mahorsik does the sometimes unforgivable. Walks the first man that he sees coming in. That's the first base on balls given to the Angels tonight. Tying runs are on base, and Chili Davis will be up there from the left side.
The left fielder, Chili Davis.
Chili so far has been a better right-handed hitter. Last night he hit his home run right-handed. Hit it to the opposite field. But he's 30-some points better or so from the right side.
And Dallas Green has got to be saying, what is going on here? Throw a strike. Let's go. That's what happens when you have to dip into that bullpen and you're not really sure what you're going to get. Mahorsik did not work last night's ball game.
And finally gets a borderline call on a strike on the outside part of the plate. That home run for Chili last night was the first one he'd ever hit in this ballpark since coming into the American League. Down and away. 2-1. 1 out. Runners at first and second.
And most of your sinker ball pitchers are stingy. They're stingy. Claudell Washington out on deck to hit for Bichette.
Ground ball to the right side. That's going to get through. Here comes White around. He's going to score. Harris will hold at second base. It's a one-run ball game, and Chili Davis drives in a run, his 22nd of the year, and it's now 6-5 Yankees, and that run is charged to Tommy John. And the book is closed on him. So he's still in the position to win it, but not be able to lose it.
Your attention, please.
Claudell Washington will bat for Dante Bichette.
For Bichette, number 18, Claudell Washington.
He'll stay in, play in right field.
Claudell made himself a lot of fans here in New York the last couple of years.
Claudell rips one. Foul off the right side.
Lance McCullers up in the bullpen for the Yankees.
So it's a 6-5 ball game. The Angels down by a run now. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at first. Claudell batting for Bichette. Dante was 0 for 2 while he was in there tonight. Ground ball back up the middle. No. Sachs gives off to Espinosa, and they turn the double play. What a great play by Sachs and Espinosa. That one had seeing eyes, and Sachs was able to start it, and they turned the 2. 4-6-3 on the double play, but the Angels get one back on 2 hits and leave a man. They've stranded only 2 tonight. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 6-5 New York. As we move into the bottom of the 6th inning, here's the trivia question for tonight. The All-Star Trivia Quiz is this: which player holds the All-Star record for most doubles total games? The hint: he has compiled a mark playing for both the National League and the American League. I was wrong in my guess. I just looked at the other side of the paper, and my guess was wrong.
Roberto Kelly.
This is what makes pitching good. As you see, Sachs to Espinosa to Mattingly, a big double play, because that ties the game, plus puts the go-ahead run at third base.
Willie Frazier brings it to Kelly, and it's fouled off to the left side. Roberto Kelly, the number 9 hitter, and then Henderson and Sachs. I tell you, the Yankees have turned in 4 outstanding defensive plays. 2 by Paliarulo, 1 by Espinosa himself behind the bag at second, and that one started by Sachs to start the double play that took the Angels out of the inning.
You can't say enough about defense. I don't care what sport you play.
Strike. 0-2.
If you have good defense, you can pretty much control the game. If you let offense take over, then you're lucky to win. But defense makes good pitching, as you see Claudell Washington, the new right fielder.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Willie Frazier now is in his 3rd full inning of work, starting it. He had come on with 2 out in the 3rd and got the final out after they had scored the 4 off Mike Witt to take the lead. It's now 6-5 New York. And that is Johnny Ray, hit hard but lined right at him for out number 1. And aside from the home run by Mattingly, that's really the hardest ball that's been hit off Willie Frazier.
Well, that's the first pitch that Frazier got up that wasn't a fastball.
Here's Henderson.
Because he can get the fastball by you upstairs. He has that kind of velocity.
Henderson takes a strike. He had singled back in the first and scored. He's flied out, tapped out, so he's 1 for 3 right now as he faces Willie.
And if he keeps looking down at his knees and then back at Jim McKeon, that next pitch might be lower and it might still be a strike.
Well, the first person to ever challenge him, as I recall, was catcher Ed Ott when he came over from Pittsburgh. And the way he was crouching and coming out of the crouch to hit, he called it to the attention of the umpires. There was a big hubbub about it. I mean, literally almost a fight, as I recall, in Oakland. This ball should be caught by either Washington or White. It's going to be caught by White. But he just demanded that they take a look at his strike zone when he came out of that pronounced crouch. Ed Ott was never one to back away from a bit of a scuffle anyway.
No.
He could handle himself.
I remember a game when I was
managing the Mets.
I think I was managing the Mets, and he body slammed Felix Millan at second base.
That was the end of Felix Millan's, basically, end of his career.
Yeah.
Here's Steve Sax. He's had a double and scored, bounced out twice, takes a strike.
Because I wasn't sure if I was managing at the time or playing for the Mets.
Well, you might have been playing. I'm not sure, but I know it was against the Mets. They picked him up. I remember seeing videotape on it.
Yeah.
He slammed him down and damaged his shoulder. And Millan never played much, if at all, after that. I guess he did play a little bit, but not very effectively. That is at Johnny Ray, a soft liner this time, and Sax is out, and Willie Frazier has a 1-2-3-6. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. After 6, it's a 1-run ball game. Yankees 6, Angels 5. Schroeder hit 2 home runs. Hit 1 in the 2nd, hit 1 in the 5th. And Joyner rolls one to the right side. Sax almost got to it, couldn't quite as he dived for it. And Joyner has a leadoff single, and the tying run's on at first base.
Well, Sax was mad at himself, but I'm not too sure he's going to be able to get up and throw Joyner out. I'll tell you, the manager, it takes a lot of guts for a manager to pitch hit for somebody who hit 2 home runs, and the guy gets a base hit right here. And watch the reaction by Sax. I don't think he throws Joyner out. He had to stop himself first.
It's a little moist out there, and he was skidding pretty well. So here's Glenn Hoffman. Let's see how the Angels play it now with the tying run at first. Hoffman is 0 for 2, grounded out twice. He's going to try to bunt, does, up the first base side, but foul. 6-5, Yankees lead by 1. The Angels trying to battle back, get into it. They've hit 2 home runs. Both have been by Schroeder. The Yankees have hit 3. Barfield with a 3-run shot, Paliarulo with a solo blast, and likewise Don Mattingly.
And Mattingly getting the signal straight with Mahorsic. The first baseman is going to tell the pitcher what he's going to do. When I break, go ahead and pitch. Or I'm going to break in and come back, so throw over here.
They have Lance McCullers up in their bullpen. They keep an eye on Joyner, who is not a threat to steal a base. There's Tommy John, still the pitcher of record for the Yankees in this one. Hoffman fails to get it down in the dirt. He fouled it off slot. Now looks down to Moose Stubing. Going to make me bunt with 2 strikes.
It's always a little disarming when you look down to your third base coach and he turns his back on you. That does not make managers happy when you do not execute.
Going to swing away, loops it out into short center. Kelly comes on and dives, can't get it. It rolls away behind him, and it'll be a base hit for Hoffman. That's got to make him feel a lot better.
Well, it makes him breathe a little easier. He can back in that dugout now, although he'll still get a little talking to by Rader about, hey, come on, you can get the ball down. Tell me you can't bunt.
Well, I think Glenn's probably upset at himself.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's not the first time he's ever been asked to bunt, being a middle infielder.
But this is a stay of execution. Little half swing, and almost turned into another sensational play by a Yankee defenseman. Ball was in the glove, and he knocked it out with his knee.
So Downing is up there with nobody out, tying run at second, go-ahead run on at first. Bryan's had a hit. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored. McCullers has been throwing. McCullers came in last night and drilled Downing, not intentionally, but he got him in the left shoulder blade.
And Manning looking for bunt here. So is Pagliarulo.
Downing takes the ball. Maharsic, where was it? Where was it?
Why was it a ball? And Dallas Green, I mean, Lance McCullers has a great arm. The only uncertainty about bringing him in the ball game is you don't know where the ball's going to go, because he has been wild.
Downing had gone the whole month of April without being hit by a pitch. In May, been hit 3 times. Throw to third. They run into it out there on the hit and run, and Joyner's out at third. Hoffman out at second, is safe at second. Joyner out 2-5.
And right there, Rader trying to throw the defense off by moving the runners and hoping Downing can get a piece of the ball. Was not a good pitch to hit and run on. And the throw retires Joyner, who wasn't trying to steal, just trying to move on the play. And a 1-0 count, you have to figure the pitcher's going to throw a strike, but he didn't.
2 balls, 1 strike on Downing. So the tying run is at second, and Downing becomes the go-ahead run at the plate. Breaking ball in for strike 2 and 2. Maharsic, as you see, is a herky-jerky kind of a pitcher.
And believe me, you sit there and tell yourself, should I have waited till it was 2-0? But you have to figure he's going to throw a strike. I mean, that's what managing's all about. You drive yourself nuts.
Downing stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Because you don't necessarily want to take the bat out of Brian Downing's hands.
Two and 2 on Downing.
There's McCullers.
Curveball missed. Full count, 3 and 2. Draws a walk. Second walk given to the Angels tonight. McCullers just kind of looking on, so is Dallas Green. Lee Elia, I think, had been to the phone. Yankee bullpen, McCullers watching.
Oh, he's ready. He warmed up some last inning.
Schofield has doubled and scored. He struck out and grounded out. A base hit gets Hoffman home. It's not an infield hit. And Schofield is hit by a pitch, and the bases are loaded. And he sure didn't want to do that.
How about Dallas Green at this point in time?
And they're loaded for Johnny Ray.
I want to hear the conversation at first base now with Rick Smith going out, and the ball just, I think it hit Schofield on the rump, didn't it?
The second baseman, Johnny Ray.
Yeah. Well, you know he's not going to let him rub it.
Why not?
Schofield probably said, would you get out of here, please, Smitty?
Johnny Ray up there from the left side now. And this has been his best. Bats with the bases loaded, 1 out, 1 run down. Hits one to right. That should tie it up. It is caught by Barfield. Here comes Hoffman home to score. The other runners hold, and it's a 6-6 ball game, and the second RBI of the night for Johnny Ray, who didn't miss home run distance by much. So it's a brand new ball game, and it is no longer Tommy John. And Mike Witt is off the hook as well.
An old-fashioned Donnybrook, as they used to say. Nice play by Barfield. Give you an idea what kind of an outfielder he is. He just makes the play look easy. That ball was hit very hard. And watch how he just goes back there. Knows he's not going to throw anybody out, so he makes sure he makes the catch and then gets the ball in. Downing had been halfway. That's why he did not tag up and go to third base. That's the play, to be halfway so he can score in case the ball gets in there.
Devon White up there with a base hit his last time, a stolen base, and a run scored. It is 6-6.
If there were none out, then Downing does tag up at second.
Schofield at first, Downing at second. The go-ahead run. Hard hit ball to right. Barfield on the move and makes the catch. He hit it right on the nose, and Barfield, with a good play in right field, retires the side. The Angels get one back, and it's all tied as they leave two. They've stranded four. Bottom of the seventh rolls around. Seventh inning stretch time at Yankee Stadium. 6-6. Don Mattingly leads it off against Willie Frazier. Last time he saw him, he took him into the seats. Mattingly is 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs tonight. It is Frazier's game now. Close. Little calling card.
Well, Mattingly's the kind of guy that expects it.
Willie misses outside, ball 2. It'll be Mattingly, Phelps, and Barfield. 3, 4, and 5 men in the Yankee lineup. 6-6. 6 runs on 9 hits for the Angels. 6 runs on 10 hits for New York.
And Kelly, when he dove for that ball, probably rolled over on his hand.
He has ice on it. Pop up off the left side. Who wants it? Glenn Hoffman, the third baseman, says he'll take it and does for out number 1. So you may look for another, well, I don't know. You might look for another center fielder going out there the next inning. I think you're right. He did. Rolled over, maybe twisted the wrist a little.
Well, the knee seemed to knock the ball out of the glove, and then he continued to roll over.
The batter, Ken Phelps, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored tonight as he bats in the bottom of the 7th off Willie Frazier. Since Frazier came on, he has given up only the 1 run. That was the home run to Mattingly, and been touched for only 1 other hit, and that was an infield hit with 2 out in the 5th inning. Foul ball, strike 1.
McCullough's still up in the bullpen, so he might be the pitcher when the Angels hit in the 8th. And Ryan Harvey.
Too high for Phelps. 1 ball, 1 strike. Barfield waits on deck.
You'd have to believe if the Yankees got some men on base, Righetti would be getting up in the bullpen.
2-1. Just missed with the pitch down and away. 3-1 on Phelps.
Well, he has to stay away from Phelps here. He's got a tie ball game. You don't want Phelps pulling the ball.
Missed again. And a 1-out walk given to the Yankees, Ken Phelps. Second base on balls issued by Angel pitching. The first by Willie Frazier, and Barfield, who has singled, homered to drive in 3 and struck out his last time, stands in.
And coincidentally, the last walk that was given up by Angel pitcher is Mike Witt, and it was Phelps, and that really was the key at bat in that 3rd inning where the Yankees scored the 4 runs.
Got a high strike into Barfield.
Had a little wrinkle on it, though.
That Barfield homer, his 8th of the year, giving him a total of 18 RBIs. His 3rd as a Yankee. 0-1 pitch. 0-2. Look out. Look out. Somebody grab that fella down there. He's about ready to fall. He gets himself a souvenir. Here's a guy in a $350 suit or $400 suit. Nice gray suit, white tie. Looked like he just came from Wall Street to fall over the wall to get a foul ball at Yankee Stadium. 0-2 pitch to Barfield. Popped him up on the infield. Hoffman says he will take it in front of the mound, and the third baseman does. 2 out. The batter will be Mike Pagliarulo.
The third baseman, Mike Pagliarulo.
You look ahead to the Angel 8. They go in there tied, whether they're tied or not. You're getting into the bottom half of their order.
Hoffman takes charge. That ball slid around a little bit in that glove.
Pagliarulo, one of the 3 Yankee homers tonight. He's 1 for 3. Frazier struck him out last time. Fouls it away. Strike 1. Six in the bottom of the 7th at Yankee Stadium. Pagliarulo not only has hit a home run, he has made 2 spectacular plays at third. Oh, and 2. Two out, runner at first. Phelps. Not a running threat over there. Just missed. 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Pagliarulo.
Well, you want to get him out here. You don't want to run the count to 3-2 where Phelps would be on the move and have a chance to score on an extra base hit.
It's going to go 3-2. Phelps will be moving. On deck, Don Slaught, who's had 3 hits tonight for the Yankees. He's 3 for 3. Full count, 3-2 on Pagliarulo. Runner goes, base hit. Claudell Washington comes in. Phelps will hold at second base. Pagliarulo has his 2nd hit of the night.
I take that back. Phelps was not going to score.
Harvey's been throwing out of the bullpen.
And Rader
2 out trouble for Frazier. Go ahead. Look at this. That is a fair ball. His 4th hit. Phelps will score. Pagliarulo is going to score as well. No, he won't. He'll hold him at third. A fan touched it.
That might have cost the Yankees a run.
The 2nd ground rule double, and the Yankees lead 7-6, and they do it with 2 out again.
Pitch up and away. Slaught gets his bat on the ball. Watch in the right-hand part of your screen, a fan reaches out right there and touches the baseball, and that makes it a ground rule double, and only 1 run will score. I just believe that Pagliarulo would have scored on that play. And Latchman out. We'll see if we have a pitching change.
And Phelps, for the 2nd time tonight, benefiting from the walk, scores a run. This coming with 2 outs. They got 4 runs in the 3rd with 2. They got a single run in the 4th after 2 out. And here, getting a single run and still batting with 2 out. And the call has gone to Brian Harvey. Well, Frazier was strong until he got to this particular point. Frazier is out. Harvey is in. We'll be back to Yankee Stadium after this. Pitcher is Brian Harvey. Harv comes on for the 13th time. His record 1-1, 4.61 earned run average, 5 saves to his credit, and inherits a second and third situation with 2 out, and the Yankees leading 7-6.
And Harvey's been struggling a little bit. He's been struggling, and this is a game for his confidence right here, plus keeping the Angels in this ball game. Base hit here would make it very tough.
Alvaro Espinoza, the shortstop, who's had a hit tonight, struck out twice, facing Harvey. It's 7-6. Yankees back in front by 1. Getting another run here with 2 out. Frazier worked 3 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 3, all in 1 inning, and walked a man. And is responsible for the men on base. Foul back, and Espinoza may have chased a bad ball high.
Well, the thing they have to think about when Harvey comes into the game, if he gets ahead of me, he's going to throw me the split finger pitch. So you're going to whack at that fastball.
2 out runners at second and third. Phelps has scored.
And Righetti up in the bullpen for the Yankees.
Toward third, but foul. 0-2 now on Espinoza. We told you, looking ahead to the Angel 8th. Parrish, Davis, and Washington.
And as far as Dallas Green is concerned, it's ragtime.
Pitch to Espinoza. Back to Harvey, and couldn't handle it. A run scored. He thought it was hit harder than it was, I think.
I'm not sure, because he casually put his glove up like he was going to catch it. He might have taken his eye off it.
It is a base hit. It's an RBI. The run charged to Frazier.
Roberto Kelly.
And Espinoza getting his 10th RBI of the year.
We'll take another look. Split finger pitch. And watch Harvey. Oh, yeah, he did think it was hit hard. You could see the way he was flinching.
So now it's first and third. Kelly is up there, the center fielder. It is now 8-6. The Yankees up by 2, and a fastball in at the knees for a strike, and a threat at first to do some running. And Espinoza. Slaught moves over to third. Nothing in 2. But he had 0-2 on Espinoza as well.
Well, he made a good pitch on Espinoza. He did not hit the ball hard. It was a split finger pitch. Dallas Green a little happier with that 2-run lead.
Seventh man to bat here in the inning. Runner first goes. Roll out toward the left side. Cut off by Hoffman. Glenn throws across in time. They get Kelly. But the Yankees get 2 to get back on top. On 3 hits, they leave 2. They've stranded 7. After 7, 8-6, New York. Parrish, Davis, and Washington due up here in the Angel 8th. Parrish tonight 0 for 2 with a walk. Righetti not easy to solve. Maharsic was charged with 1 run while he was out there in 1 2/3. He walked a couple. He hit a batter. And he gave up 3 hits. Maharsic did not strike anybody out. 2 balls, no strikes on Lance Parrish.
Angels need a base runner.
Fouled away. He was the count 2-2.
And I personally would like to see that, a lot more of that. There are just a lot of hitters late in the ball game when their ball club is down 2, 3, 4 runs that are swinging at the first pitch, swinging 2-0, 3-1.
It's an old basic fundamental, Joey, that all of us were taught early on. Sometimes they don't do it. tough pitch to catch up with. Perry strikes out on a low breaking ball down and in. Righetti gets the first man he sees.
Well, that's the trademark of Dave Righetti, the slider, the hard slider, and right here, Lance Parrish just swings over the top.
Here's Chili Davis. He's had a hit tonight, driven in a run. He is 1 for 3. Oakland has already been beaten by Milwaukee today, so the Angels need a win to go to Boston in first place. They have a tough chore ahead of them here.
The thing that's tough about Righetti is knowing he could throw the ball 90 miles per hour and having to contend with the slider.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, they were saying earlier this year that they were clocking him at best about 88, which is still above average.
Out of play. 1 and 2 on Chili. Angels have 3 coming up against Boston. 2 you will see here on Channel 5 tomorrow night and Sunday afternoon, and hope you will join us. It'll be Chuck Finley going in tomorrow night's opening game up there against Roger Clemens. There's your line on tonight's fray. 8-13-0 for the Yankees, 6-9-1 for the Angels.
Good spectators game, I'll tell you that.
2 and 2. Fastball running away from Chili Davis. Claudell Washington waits on deck.
People tonight have seen a little bit of everything. They've seen the long ball. They've seen great defensive plays. Pitching's been a little shaky, although Willie Frazier, I thought, pitched very well.
Until that 1 inning when he got in trouble with 2 out. Chili fouls 1 away again. Stays alive with a count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And if the Angels go on to lose this ball game, I think if Doug Rader has to be haunted by one thing, it's Phelps being walked twice.
Because he was walked twice and scored twice. Slaught with 4 hits, and the last one driving in a run that broke the tie. Then it was a bloop double, the softest ball he had hit all night. Did he go around? No, says the first base umpire, Ken Kaiser.
Let's keep an eye on the head of the bat. If it gets out in front of the hands, it was about even.
Full count, 3 and 2 on Chili Davis. 1 out, bases empty, down by 2. Toward right field, hard hit, back to the wall. Barfield there and makes the catch.
And again, I didn't think that ball was going that far. It might be carrying a little better to right field.
2 out. The batter, Claudell Washington.
Right fielder, Claudell.
Of course, that's not all that far out there either. 314 down the line. It really doesn't go out very far until you get to the gate near right center.
I would think probably what, maybe 6 feet. It might have been 320 where he caught the ball. Claudell bounced into a double play, a sparkling double play, started by Sachs back in the 6th inning. Or the Angels might have had some more runs.
They'll stay away from Claudell.
Ground ball toward Espinosa at short, gobbled up. Throws a little high, but he gets Claudell, and Righetti gets him 1, 2, 3 in his first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 8th in New York. 8-6 Yankees. Off Sachs and Mattingly to follow. Brian Harvey.
The left fielder, Ricky Henderson.
Will be set to work. Harvey came on to relieve Frazier, gave up a scratch hit that produced a run, and then got a ground ball to end the inning. But the Yankees lead by 2 as they bat here in the bottom of the 8th. As you look ahead to the Angel 9th, Joyner, Hoffman, or pinch hitter perhaps, but Joyner, Hoffman, and Downing. They don't have many people to pinch it with, do they? Anderson's on the bench. If they wanted to hit for somebody, everybody else is hit. Armas can't play.
They're not going to use Jack Howell against Righetti.
No. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 balls. 2-1 on Henderson.
Not that I'm trying to tell people what to do, but Righetti has manhandled Jack Howell over the career.
Two balls, one strike. Out of play. 2-2. Henderson to be followed by Sachs and Mattingly. And there have been hits up and down the lineup. The Yankees have hit 3 home runs tonight. They have scored 6 or 7 of their 8 runs. 7 of their 8 runs after 2 were out. Out of play. Again, upstairs in the upper deck. Mike Witt started, worked 2 2/3, charged with 5 of the Yankee runs. Willie Frazier worked 3, charged with 2. Make it 3. Mattingly's home run and then the 2 runs in the 7th inning. So Willie Frazier is the pitcher of record. The split-fingered pitch gets Henderson on strikes. First strikeout recorded by Brian Harvey. Here's Sachs. Strike. Steve tonight has had a double. That was back in the 3rd. He scored. It was a ground rule double. But legitimate also. I think he'd had 2 bases and went down the left field line on the ground and was touched by a fan as it rolled into foul territory. But the way it was hit just inside the bag, I think he'd have probably had 2 anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike. Angels led 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 before falling behind. The Yankees scored 4 in the 3rd, and all 4 runs came after 2 were out. They got a single run in the 4th. The Angels started to battle back with single runs in the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th to tie it. Or in the 6th, I should say, that tied it. Got a single run in the 7th to tie it 6-6. A ground ball to 3rd here to Hoffman. Guns it across to get Sachs, and they're 2 out. But then in the bottom of the 7th, the Yankees came up with 2 to break the 6-6 tie.
Don Mattingly.
The batter, Don Mattingly, who has had 2 RBIs tonight, only 1 hit. It was a home run, a solo shot off Willie Frazier with 2 out in the 4th. But he drove in their first run back in the 1st off Witt with a sacrifice fly. His average right now at 270. Harvey misses ball 1. So Righetti will be facing Joyner, a left-handed batter, then Hoffman and Downing in the top of the 9th inning. There's ball 3. On deck, Phelps.
Well, the way Mattingly's hitting right now, you don't want to give in to him here, because if you give in to him, it's a home run. So you're going to try to stay away, and if it's ball 4, it's ball 4.
That's a strike. 3-1. Only 2 walks given up by Angel pitching tonight. Both were to the designated hitter, Ken Phelps, and both times he scored. He was driven in. Base hit. Mattingly, a 2-out single. That is the 14th hit for the Yankees tonight.
He's on his game right there, Bob. Good extension. Head still.
Wally Joyner probably like to rub off some of that
How about that one? He has both knees to work on, one of Moose's and one of his own, Bobby Knapp.
Here's Phelps. Takes a strike. Phelps is 0 for 2 with a pair of walks and 2 runs scored. And 2 on Phelps. Mattingly with 4 hits last night, 2 tonight. And that base hit, the last one, jumped his average up probably another point or 2 up to around 272. Phelps takes. And Mattingly will be facing Seattle pitching and Oakland pitching before they hit the road again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just missed. Third base umpire Darrell Cousins says no, he didn't go around. Didn't offer. Two and 2 on Ken Phelps. Full count now, 3 and 2.
Hard to remember who the starters were in this ball game. Tommy John, Mike Witt. Neither one pitcher of record. Although Tommy John had a chance to be the winner.
This one is in Mahorsik's court for the Yankees. Runner at first goes, and it's at Joyner, solidly hit, but out. No runs, a base hit, and a man left for the Yankees. They've stranded 8 tonight after 8 innings in New York. It's still the Yankees 8, the Angels 6. In this top of the 9th inning, let's answer the trivia question we had for you. The All-Star trivia answer: the record by a player for the most doubles in total games in the Midsummer Classic, the All-Star game, was achieved in 12 games, National and American, by Dave Winfield.
He was the answer 2 nights in a row.
Well, we forget that he played a number of years for San Diego.
I didn't forget.
No, I'm sure you didn't.
I had to play third base while he was hitting.
Wally Joyner swings on the first pitch by Righetti and sends it high in the air to medium center field. And Kelly waits and makes the put out for out number 1. Joyner is out. That'll bring up Glenn Hoffman.
Glenn Hoffman.
Righetti with 6 saves. Trying to nail it down for Maharsik, who worked 1 2/3, was charged with the run on 3 hits, walked 2 and hit a batter. Hoffman takes a strike. Glenn has had a hit, scored a run. He is 1 for 3. That is to right field. Coming under it is Barfield. 2 down. Downing up there takes a strike from Righetti. 6 runs on 9 hits and an error for the Angels right now. 8 runs on 14 and no miscues for the Yankees to this point. 2 out now. Righetti trying to put it away. Strike 2. The fans start to get into it. Fouled off the right side. Maharsik. If Righetti does his job here, would pick up his first win of the year. And Willie Frazier would suffer his 3rd loss. The 2-strike pitch. Too high. 1 and 2. Finley and Clemens, tomorrow night's matchup in Fenway Park. Not the happiest of places for left-handers to work. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bryan tonight with a base hit in 3 trips and drew a walk. Grounds one up the middle Sachs with the backhand and toss high and over the head of Mattingly, who tried to stay on the bag and draw it in. It went into a photographer's well down there, and Downing will get second base. They're going to give him a hit and charge an error.
That's what they're going to do. And Mattingly trying to get the out. If the Yankees had a one-run lead, I don't think Mattingly would have tried to make this play. I think he would have jumped off the bag to keep the ball from going by him. But right there with a 2-run lead, he says, let me try to get the out, see if I can reach it. So it's a base hit and then the error on the throw by Sachs.
So here is Schofield. Dix had a double tonight, struck out, grounded out, and was hit by a pitch last time up there. He's 1 for 3. Angels still alive. He's the tying run at the plate. He was trying to tie it, too, with one swing. He hit one to the base of the 399 mark out in left center his first time up for a double and scored a run. Out of play, and quickly Righetti is ahead of Schofield, 0-2.
If you're a Yankee rooter, you have a choice of heroes tonight. Mattingly with a couple of hits and a couple of RBIs, home run. Pagliarulo with a home run and a single and a couple of great plays. Slot, 4 base hits.
Just pitched. 1-2.
Barfield with a couple of base hits, big 3-run home run to turn the game around. We'll take a look at this pitch again, just outside.
A ball and 2 strikes on Schofield. 2 out. He's the tying run. Downing out at second. Ground ball to the hole toward short. Espinosa with it. His toss is in time, and the Yankees win it. The final score, Yankees 8, the Angels